Hi everyone, my name is Rod Jans, and you're listening to the Get Inspired Talks podcast. For this episode of the Get Inspired Talks podcast, we visit with Cal Misener. Cal helps people get alignment in their career and in other areas of their lives so that they can live a life that is more fulfilling to them. He gets to witness personal transformations in people that shift from doing work that they think they have to do in order to pay the bills to doing work that they are actually excited about. Cal's biggest core value is freedom. He likes it when people choose to do things consciously because it is what they truly want in their hearts, as opposed to what they think they are obligated to do. If you enjoy the Get Inspired Talks podcast, please make sure you leave a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening on. That's the best way you can help us help others find the show. Now please help me welcome Cal Misener to the Get Inspired Talks podcast.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Rod, is I don't know if it's funny or not, but I was one of those people that really had no clue what I wanted to do. And I was thinking back about high school in particular. There was a group of about 12 of us that hung out together, and we were very close. And most of those guys knew exactly what they wanted to do. One guy wanted to be a chef, so he went to school and took cooking and opened a restaurant, became a chef. One guy knew he wanted to be in radio and television, so he went to school and I had no idea. So, what do you do when you don't know exactly what it is you should be doing? You just try a whole bunch of different things. And I did everything from pumping gas to moving mobile homes to checking gas lines for leaks to, all these things. But I guess what it really led me to later in life, and I'm sure we'll get more into this in the work I do now, but is to become almost obsessed with how do you find out what's in your heart, what you're passionate about, and then how do you actually incorporate that more into the work that you're doing? So I guess that was a kind of a long answer, but what brought me to this point, again, of being kind of obsessed with alignment and doing work that you were meant to do is it just took me a long, long time to figure out for myself what that looks like. And one of my goals is to help other people hopefully fast track that process somewhat. We spend 2/3 of our waking hours at work, and I believe we actually have an epidemic of people not doing work they were meant to do. And so, again, my goal is to help people with that sense of alignment. One of the things that I've done for myself in the past, and I now do with a number of others, including working with companies, is how do you find out what you're passionate about or the things that light you up, and then marry those with the work that you do in some fashion. Right? That's the key. It doesn't have to be, well, there are a couple of approaches. There is the wholesale, like rip the Band-Aid off approach and quit what you're doing here and start something else. But for most people, that's not practical and it's too scary. And so how do you, if you've got this sense of misalignment, like, you know what, I really don't like what I'm doing. Okay, great. There's a few steps. The one is like, really I think the key to all of this, when we're talking about workplace happiness or happiness with your career, your life, we're talking about matters of the heart, right? It's not so often we try and solve these things or we try and figure out our purpose using an intellectual process. And what I found is it's a matter of the heart. So the first step is really checking in with your heart or your gut or your intuition, whatever you call it. Take some time for yourself, get quiet and say, how do I really feel about the work that I'm doing? How do I really feel about the relationships that I'm in? How do I really feel about the place that I live? Right? So that's kind of the first step is taking truthful stock of where you're at. And then I think the second step is deciding to make a change, right? If this really isn't serving me, if the work that I'm doing truly is sucking the life out of me, then I need to stand up for myself. I need to take a stand for happiness. So that would be the second step. And then the third step, and I just love this approach to many things in life, including the work that we do, is what's the one small step you can take today to get you closer to feeling aligned to that what you really want to do? Right? Again, sometimes we think, well, we got to rip the Band-Aid off and I just got to quit my job and leave everything behind and go do this. And like I said, that's not practical for many people. But what's the one thing you can do today to help you feel more aligned to? So, for example, if you've always dreamt of being a writer, could you go out and write an article this afternoon on Medium and post it? You're aligning yourself a little bit more closely with your passion for writing. So Yeah, that's what I would suggest. Again, it doesn't have to be this drastic step, although I've done that and some others have as well, but that's maybe not recommended for everybody. But what's the one thing I can do today to move me closer to my goal?
And just as we wrap up, I'm looking at the information that you provided us with. It looks like the best place to get in touch with you is on LinkedIn.
Yes, that is correct.
That's where you're hanging out the most, eh? So go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's Cal Misener on LinkedIn, Misener, and Cal is CAL. Or if people want to email me, they can email me at cal@highperformanceculture.ca.
And we got to wrap up here, but what sort of services are you providing?
So again, I'm working with there's two forms of work. One is with business customers. So to help bring more of humanity to human resources, right? To really the sense of alignment and help them take their business to the next level through supporting a great team. And then with individuals as well, who are feeling like, yeah, you know what, this just isn't really the work I was meant to do. Then how do we help you go through this process that I described and get it so that you feel like, yeah, you know what, I am looking forward to getting up Monday morning and doing the work I'm supposed to do.
Great. Sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us, Cal.
Thank you so much. All right. Have an amazing day.